Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Meet Your Fellow Creators stream, episode 4. Today
Hey,
we have
Fishy, I don't
special.
have any. Oh, there it is.
Today we have special guest, and you've seen who it is. It's a fearless crow hunter,
Okay.
FitzYakin.
Yeah, the most dangerous game animal in North America.
So how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
All right,
good.
cool.
Thanks.
All right. So we'll start our show. All right. First question is the first question. I guess a lot of people wants to know, what is your first name?
My first name's Lawrence, but Larry, basically. But most people call me Fitzy. They have since I was a kid, so I'm either Larry or Fitzy.
All right. All right, Larry.
Scary Larry. Larry,
Okay.
Larry. All kinds of Larrys.
All right. So, like any guest, I'm asking, I do a little bit of homework, and I'll ask, send some pictures and some other things, maybe, some interesting stories to tell. So, and this time around, I asked Larry to send me some pictures. And I said, send me some pictures, your hobbies, your maybe outdoor pictures or things like that. And yeah, he sent me some pictures. And here are those pictures. So I don't know what to make of it. I mean, they're supposed to be funny, I guess. I mean, sitting on a john. At least it's probably outdoors. Well, indoors in an outhouse, but still, outdoors. I don't know if there's some interesting, funny story behind that. So I actually anxious to find out what that story is.
One of the outhouses, I was camping with my buddy. My wife and him and his wife, we go camping, and the kids, we usually go once a year. And this was probably about 7, 8 years ago. And I was using the outhouse, and he opened up the door. I didn't lock the door. He snapped a picture, which was, whatever. But the funny thing that happened is I go to his house, I don't know, 6 months later, and he had one of those digital frames that scrolls through digital pictures. And I'm at his house, and I look over at the picture frame, and he has that picture on the thing there. So I was like, Bo, that's the guy's name. I'm like, what the heck, man? Why do you why do you have that on the frame? His wife is there, and his kids, and I was like, so that was the story behind that. The other one, I kind of missed them now, but if you've ever seen the movie or the TV series Trailer Park Boys, that's just kind of a reference to that. I'm kind of looking like the character Bubbles in those two other photos there.
Yeah, well, yeah, I see something familiar.
So 804, and the nudes start rolling. So yeah, I blurred that little section out though, so age appropriate, I guess. So yeah, that's basically the stories behind those photos, those three.
All right. So I mean, there are some other pictures that you sent. I mean, yeah, those weren't the only pictures that he sent me. So some other picture, of his family, the actual, spending time outdoors, and some pictures, with his family, and looks like, the way I understand, at work.
Yeah, work pictures. I think I sent you some military pictures.
Yeah, the
Uh,
military pictures. Yep.
that's my first bass right there out of a kayak. Um, there's a camping trip with my daughters. That was kind of like a rough camping trip, where you have to canoe to the sites, and they're like primitive sites. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of a story with that. That particular camping trip with my two daughters, my two oldest daughters. Um, I woke up the next day with a real bad headache, and it was storming. It was real windy, and I told I had to have some weight in the kayak, so I took my middle daughter in the kayak with me, and I left my oldest daughter at the campsite, and I had to paddle back across the reservoir, which was probably about a half-mile paddle, to go back to my car to get some ibuprofen because my head was pounding. So we get in the car, or get in the kayak or the canoe, and I'm paddling, and the wind's going about 20, 30 miles an hour, and I'm getting pushed as I'm trying to go across. And I told my daughter, I was getting really frustrated. I told my daughter, I go, honey, Daddy's going to say some bad words. Just don't pay attention to it. And I just started cursing out like God and everything. So that was that. That was kind of a story to that picture, I guess.
So okay. And looking at your pictures, yeah. So you've been in the military. So let's just start. A while back. Let's start from that.
Okay.
I mean, you've been in Iraq, right? So
Yeah, yeah. I was over
so how many
405.
yeah how many times and what actually you've been doing there?
I was over in the first Gulf War when I was active duty in the Marine Corps back in '91, and then I got out of the Marine Corps in '94, and I joined the Guard at National Guard, Army National Guard, '95, and then we were activated in December of 2003 to go to Iraq, and actually deployed there in spring of 2004, and we're there for 12 months. So I was infantry when I was over there. We did patrols and cordon searches and raids, that kind of stuff. So, but at the end of it all, I did like 21 years of military time, 6 years about of active duty time, and about 15 years of National Guard time. So,
No, okay. So you
it's
you
been a part of life, I guess. You know what I mean? In kind of a full time / part time aspect. So.
so yeah, you got a lot of experience, shooting crows and stuff.
I love the crow hunting, man. It's fun.
All right. So and with your family, you happily married with children.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm on my second marriage, and hopefully my last. It should be. She's a good woman. So, but I have two daughters with my first marriage that are 19 and 16 now, soon to be 20 and 17. And then I have a 5-year-old with my second wife. So three girls. One's in college, one's in high school, and the other one just started kindergarten this past year. So
all right.
thanks,
So
man.
so where did you meet your wife?
At a bar.
All
I
right. I
used to
mean, it
when I was.
happens.
What's that?
I mean, it happens. I mean, not that often, but it happens.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, we've been happily married now for we're gonna go on 10 years here. We've been together for 14, 15 years. Uh, yeah, 14 years this summer. I've been married for 10 of it. And yeah, we met in a bar. I was out. I used to smoke cigarettes. I was out smoking a cigarette, and she was coming into the bar, coming into the main entrance. We got talking, and then, you know, and here we are 14 years later. So
All
it
right.
happens
All right. Cool.
sometimes.
So and yeah, what do you do for a living? I mean, I saw your picture there. Like looks like the fire company or
Yeah, I'm a firefighter
okay.
in Syracuse, New York. Um, so yeah, that's my job. I've been doing that for about 11 years now. I got on the job a little late in life. I got on the job at 36, so I just turned 47. I just hit my 11th
Hmm.
year there. But yeah, I've been doing that for the last 11 years or so. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I do.
Yeah,
It's a good job.
and I forgot my question, to ask you where you're from. So now we know.
Yeah, yeah.
Syracuse, New York, huh?
Yeah, Syracuse. Well, I work in Syracuse. I live about 50 miles north of Syracuse, in a small town called
Mhm.
Oswego, right on Lake Ontario,
Yeah.
right on the road.
So you are close to Jack fishing.
Yes, yeah. I think we're only 2 hours apart, maybe.
Yeah, because he spilled guts saying that you collaborate, something there, and you guys in April, I think, you're gonna go
Yeah,
for steelhead fishing and stuff, and I'm just sitting here and it's like, damn, I wanna go steelhead fishing.
it's not that far away from. We're not that far away from Delaware. What? Probably 5, 6 hours, maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's about right.
Come on, big party of it. Uh, True North's not that far away. Actually, I talked to True North today. I think we're gonna link up. Maybe the first 2 weeks of March. He's going to come down from Canada, and I'm going to come from Oswego, and we're going to meet in the middle. It's about the same distance for both of us, and I think we're going to try to do some steelhead fishing too. But I've never done it. This will be my first time ever doing steelhead fishing, so I really don't know what the heck I'm doing. So we'll try to make something happen. But yeah,
All
the
right.
precision, you know that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Is Precision? I know Precision's from Maine. Has Precision been to Oswego? Because there's a big salmon run in Oswego and Pulaski. It's some of the best salmon fishing in the world, even though they're not native to this area. But
So yeah, I mean, I know up north, there, I mean, you can go for all kinds of things, for steelheads, for salmon, for the trout there is freaking humongous.
yeah, I mean, you catch big brown trout, off the tributaries and out on the main lake, out on Lake Ontario. I mean, you catch 10, 11, 12, maybe even 15-pound brown trout, which most people catch brown trout in a creek. They're like a pound, or you know what I mean. They're small little, I don't know, whatever they are, 10 inches, 12 inches. But the brown trout out on Lake Ontario, and the ones that come into the tributaries are 10, 15-pound brown trout. So they're good sized trout, which I've never gone fishing for those either. I'm from Oswego, and I've never gone salmon fishing, and I've never gone for steelhead, and I've never gone for any of the real big brown trout. It's kind of like being from New York City and you've never been to the Empire State Building, I guess.
Yeah, Jimani Strong Outdoor says, Jack and I learned the other day it's about 5 hours from me to him. So subtract an hour for me, yeah, because I'm closer here, so I'm jump on 95 when I go, so it's pretty much 4 hours. Yeah,
Right.
4 hours probably. If I step on it and drive like a madman,
Right.
probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we have any questions in the audience here. I mean, it's hard for me to track of. I mean, I don't know if you saw any questions. I mean, I don't see any questions addressed to me, so maybe there were questions for you here. Did you see
Yeah.
any?
I've been staring at it, but I really haven't been. It's kind of moving fast, and I'm trying to. Uh, I know G Money Strong said that I think he talked to Jag and said that you guys were about 5 hours. I think you caught that one. Um, Trying to go back through the stuff. Uh, I
Yeah,
really don't know what to tell you about me. There's not much. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like to hunt. I like to fish. I like to camp, and that's about it for me.
all right. Um,
Yeah, Precision Angling said they fished Ontario for kings. Uh, I think Salmon River, which is about 30 miles away in Pulaski, I think they have the world record for coho. I think like 40 something pounds or 30 something pounds.
yeah. All right, so let's. Why is there something funny?
No, yeah, she just said you're doing great. I was a little nervous about doing this. Chromecast, he fishes Burn Dam a lot and does well with the been doing well with the steelies. I think it's Burn Dam, which True North angler fishes also.
Hmm.
money. I've been doing YouTube. I've been on YouTube for, I don't know, 7, 8 years, just as a viewer. And I posted my first video, I think back in 2014 on a doe that I shot.
Oh yeah,
First time I'd ever...
let's not get ahead of
Okay.
ourselves here. All right, because that was the next thing, I would have go through because yeah, I have something to say.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I looked and yeah, you've been a creator probably what 3 years, 4 years now, 4 years, I would say.
And it wasn't until this past year where I actually got serious about it. The first few videos that I posted were with a cheap European dash cam. It wasn't waterproof.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. And
Yeah,
I looked at the video and it's like first video you had 4 years ago and it was your hunting video, kind of short, really, really short one. And that camera had that squealing, ear-piercing noise that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, after a few minutes, like you think that, it's some kind of ultrasound or something like hitting your drums. And then, I saw the next video came out a year later, so I thought, you probably, said that would be enough for 1 year. It's a lot of work. After all that work that you've done, you said, I'm gonna take a break for a year or so, and then you come out with another video.
It was just.
And it was ear piercing video as well. And then after few more videos that you released with that camera and with that sound, and then you probably decided, I'm gonna take another break for another year.
Yeah, the first few videos, the very first video I ever posted, the one where I shot a doe with my bow, it was the first bow kill I'd ever gotten. I just gotten into bow hunting the year before. Buddy that I work with got me into it. It's kind of one of those things I'd wanted to do it for like 20 years, but I never took the bow hunting course that you have to take. And finally, my buddy at work, he kind of pushed me along to take the course. I took the course. I got into bow hunting. I didn't get anything my first year. The second year, I shoot the doe. Very first time I'd ever taken a camera out, and I shoot the doe, and I wanted to show him. And I'm trying to I couldn't email it because it was too big. I couldn't text it because it was too big. So I posted it on YouTube so he could watch it. And then I made a couple more videos with that same camera, with the same squeal. And it wasn't anything real serious. I was just posting a couple fishing videos. And for a couple years, I would make videos just for myself. When I figure when I'm in a nursing home and I'm in diapers, they were videos I could watch and look back on when I can't do what I love to do anymore. You know what I mean? So, and then it was this year where I actually got a GoPro camera, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna attempt to make some decent videos. So, and it's become like a hobby now for me. You know what I mean? It's just something that I enjoy to do, and I'm trying to make things better. I'm not a great editor or anything, but I'm working on it, trying to make the quality better.
Well,
So,
aren't we all just passing by
Right,
here,
yeah.
and we're just hobbyists? Well, except few of us, we're not gonna mention those people like Jimani Strong Outdoors,
Funny
but
doesn't-
yeah, we are the mortals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got you too. I'll have to go look back through this. I'm trying to keep along with the chat here. Sorry, Fishy.
yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. I mean, Jimani Strong said, I jumped the gun and lol, but I didn't even caught what it was about.
Yeah. Yeah, Northwest Open Season just said, yeah, that's my philosophy plan for the diaper years. And that's really what I started with. You know what I mean? When I'm 65, 70, 75 and laying in the nursing home, I figure I could put my channel on and watch my videos of when I used to be able to shoot crows and catch fish out of my kayak, and that's still, really the reason why I'm doing it, but, now it's kind of become a hobby. It's kind of cool to mess with the editing and it's kind of cool after you do a video to come back and see what kind of footage you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's
all
a
right,
pain,
guys.
though.
Yeah. I mean, we're going through this. I mean, I think I've seen a few new faces. on our stream. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel or FitzYakin channel, his the link to his channel in the description and in the chat. And of course, don't forget me. So the next time maybe you'll end up on this show. I mean, there's only one requirement: to be subscribed to my channel. So, all right. So what else can you tell about yourself? I mean, we didn't go deep into into your army, but I mean, in there when you were in the deployment, what was your function?
Basically, we were an infantry battalion. We had sectors within Baghdad to basically conduct presence patrols. This was in 04, 05, so it was about a year after the actual invasion. So basically, we were there for security. It was almost like police work, I guess you could say. Just driving around and and waiting to get ambushed, basically, is the reality of it. But we were there to establish peace and security. The whole situation over there was and probably still is complicated. You're dealing with different factions and whatnot. But basically, we went out and did patrols. If we got intel on possible IED suppliers or makers, we would do raids on a specific target house. We do cordon searches looking for munitions such as mortar rounds and artillery rounds that were used a lot of times in IEDs. We were over there in 2005 January for the first elections, and we basically shut Baghdad down, and so there wasn't a threat of car bombs for the polling sites. So, I mean, that's a whole other story, but we were there, I guess. We were just trying to stay alive and whatnot. So
any stories, interesting stories? Because in places like that, I mean, it can be that if you're there and nothing happens, I mean, it has something, has to happen anyway. I mean, some kind of situation, some kind of story, some kind of things that happen. Because I know, I mean, first of all, I want to thank you for your service to this country. I mean, I've served in the army, but I wasn't. If it would be something like in Afghanistan, I would be on opposite side. But I didn't make there. So that was actually right before my time. They pretty much shut down this whole thing, Afghanistan and all that. But my older brother actually, he actually served during that time. I mean, he didn't end up there, but he could have. So, but the guys, that I grew up with, maybe like a few years older than me, they were coming back and they were telling all kinds of story, like horrific story, and it's like mind-boggling stories what was happening there. It's like you wouldn't even think. So that's why I'm kind of asking, because you've been there too. I mean, it's a different country, but it's the same in the same area, and the mindset over there is the same.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen. I'm not really going to talk about stuff like that, but I'm trying to think of, there's funny things too. It's it's a funny situation because when you're over there, it's some of the worst times in your life, but it's also some of the best times in your life in terms of just the bond you have with other individuals. In my particular instance, it's infantry unit, so it's a bunch of guys, but there's definitely a strong bond that you build amongst men that you serve with. That really you can't replicate in any other job, I don't think. Even with the fire department, we're pretty tight. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood because we do have female firefighters, obviously. But when you're with each other 24/7 and your ass is on the line 24/7 with each other, there's really no other kind of bond. So it's some of the closest relations I guess you'll have with another human being in some ways. Just that willingness to take care of each other and give your life for each other if need be. But obviously it's some of the worst of times too. And we lost some guys within our company, and I don't want to go into that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to think. We had some funny stories too. I mean, I remember we bought whiskey off of these Iraqi kids on this bridge we were guarding over the Euphrates. and we bought whiskey, uh, some bottles of whiskey that basically they had rebottled the whiskey, and we bought like 3 or 4 dogs, and we watched these dogs for like about probably had them for about a couple months. They were like strays that these Iraqi kids had sold to us, and we brought them back to the fob that we were living on, and we were taking care of them. You know, we didn't really get to go to the chow hall too much because we were on patrol a lot, but we'd somebody over, bring some snacks back, and try to feed these dogs, and they kind of became our little mascots. But then animal control took them from us. But
Yeah.
there's some other stories that are probably funny, but I shouldn't really talk about because they're kind of raunchy. But yeah, there's a lot of stories that are raunchy, but I can't talk about those.
Well, yeah, I mean, the stories, there's always the stories. I mean, I didn't serve, I mean, I served in a regular, so only for 2 years. But yeah, we had some stories too. Interesting. I mean, some of them really funny, you know. We had,
The stories of going out on town kind of things.
yeah, I
You know,
mean, we were, where I was serving, we had uh, the battalion commander, and he wasn't. I mean, he was a colonel, but he wasn't your regular kind of um, colonel or army man. He was funny, and he wasn't like anybody else. You know, he would do all kinds of things because we used to be in um, security battalion, and we had couple of places that we pretty much guarded. Um, and of course, when you go guard things, I mean, he would come up with different kind of things, like to check how you're doing your duty and stuff like
yeah,
that. And he
yeah,
was, and at one place he was jumping the fence. I mean, the fence was actually it was electronic fence. So if you even if you passing next to it or touch the net, it wasn't electrified, but it was electronic. So it was just rang the alarm
okay,
inside the guardhouse.
right, yeah,
So and then you have to run, but because it's in the woods, you have only one road coming from the gate
right,
into the guardhouse, and it's about, I don't know, maybe 300-400 yards, and you have to actually run. And he would come at night, and what he would do, he would jump the gate, right? And the guardsmen, they run because there was an alarm, and they would
right,
run,
yeah,
and they wouldn't find anybody. But sometimes those false alarms are happening because it's in the woods, and the deers are walking, all kinds of things. But
right.
when this thing happened, there's alarm, and we run and we looked, and there's nobody. And then we come back and we lock the door and everything, and then like 5 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. And here's our colonel. But one of the surgeons, when I was there, with him there at that spot, he said, "You know what? I mean, I'm not gonna put up with this crap, so I'm gonna get him." And what he did, he said, "Okay," because it's still predictable. It's pretty much like kind of the same time between 10:30 and midnight. Usually that's where all this checkups happening.
Right.
So he said, "Okay, get everybody ready, and like from 10:30, the guardsmen pretty much, because normally when you're in the house, uh, depending on the weather, you have your arm in the stand, and you're just chilling,
Yeah,
right?"
just chilling. Yeah,
Right.
just right.
But he said, we're gonna get him, and he said, uh, have the guardsmen ready. And as soon as that alarm sounded, the door just blowing open, and we just run in there, and
Uh-huh.
we run into that gate, and it was so fast that he actually climbed up to the gate, but he didn't have time to even jump over. And
Right.
he just sitting on that gate, on top of that gate. And the surgeon ran and said, "Colonel, do you want me to open the gate?" So well, I mean, we didn't have many stories, but this was kind of funny. It was. I mean,
Yeah,
day after day after day, you just, you serving, and it's just day after day, it's just the same thing, and
yeah,
then things like that, it just make it.
yeah. It's the same humdrum stuff, and it's kind of, you have those little things kind of keep you going, kind of keep the morale up, I guess. Um, with things. Where were you? Where was the security detail? Was it along the border, the old somewhere along the border back in the day there? So
No, no, it was actually not far from Moscow.
okay.
Yep. So
What, wonder what that colonel's doing now. He's probably passed away by now, huh?
I don't know. He wasn't that old, so
Oh
I
no.
mean, he may be still serving there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Although it's been years and years, he probably retired already. He
Yeah.
he may be still alive, but he definitely probably retired.
He's probably kayak fishing in the Black Sea right now or something. You know?
Yeah. All right. So, any other stories? I mean, I see, now you've just your latest videos hunting crows. I mean, crows just didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
As soon as you go out there, they're all
I'm an
done.
I'm an avid squirrel hunter, but I started doing the fishing videos for seriousness this year, and so come fall time, a lot of times I start squirrel hunting. I'll do like a cast and blast. I'll or a blast and cast. I'll shoot squirrels in the morning, and then I'll bring my kayak with me, and I'll go out fishing. I'll hunt squirrels for a couple hours. But I was kind of so focused on trying to get some fishing video content that I kind of neglected squirrel hunting. So I really didn't get any squirrel hunting videos up. I think I have one, or I have two. Uh, the second one was I was trying to go for some gray squirrels with a air rifle, and I ended up shooting two red squirrels. But the hunting's been tough this year. I mean, I think everybody's been experiencing just wacky weather. You know what I mean? It's today was 50 degrees. 4 days ago it was 7, 8 degrees. Um, so the squirrel hunting's tough. So I haven't really been out for that. I bow hunt a lot, and I went out a lot this fall, but I actually had two misses on deer, so I didn't post them because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to
All right. So we
embarrassed.
got some questions here
Yeah.
for you. How the hell
Well,
has FitzYakin not fished Lake Ontario?
uh, that's a very good question. Precision angling. Josh, I grew up without a boat. I grew up in Oswego. There's a Oswego River runs right through the city that I grew up in. But I didn't have a boat growing up, But we fished the river a lot as kids during the summer months. In terms of like salmon fishing, we used to go down there. Back in the day, back in the '80s, when I was a kid, um, they used to allow you to snag, and basically they used to take these big, heavy-weighted treble hooks, and they would just throw them out there, cast them into the river, and just rip them through, and they would just snag salmon. That's how they fish for salmon. And you get a lot of guys coming up from Jersey, Pennsylvania. It's shoulder to shoulder crowded during the salmon run. Fights break out if guys don't if you get a fish on, you're supposed to yell fish on, and everybody's supposed to pull their line out because the salmon will start running back out towards the lake.
Right.
And if it doesn't get their line out in time, and the other guy gets his line all twisted up and loses the fish, I mean, you'd see fist fights break out like constantly. And so I guess I just grew up. I was like, I don't ever want to do this, man. This doesn't look like any fun, in terms of doing the salmon fishing. I have been out on Lake Ontario, but I just don't do any big lake fishing. I'm actually thinking about this year taking the kayak out on the lake. I have taken the kayak out on the lake before, but I'm thinking this year I'm going to try to do some big lake fishing out of the kayak. So that's one of my plans for this for 2019. Maybe go out for brown trout or something during the summer months, and try to maybe troll for them or something. Use some what the heck they call them, the depth things there. I forget what they're called.
Yeah. Well, yeah. On my kayak, I live not far away from the Chesapeake Bay, but yeah, I'm not gonna go on my kayak. I mean, I know you have the bigger one. Which one you have? What is it? Hobby or Uh,
I have three. I have a new canoe Pursuit, which is a 13 and a half footer. I've got the ATAC 120 Wilderness Systems ATAC 120, and I've got a Native Slayer Propel 10. I'm kind of a kayak junkie, man. I have three kayaks. I don't need three kayaks, but I have three kayaks. If I could, I'd probably own 10 of them. I love kayak fishing. I love it. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'd rather go kayak fishing than do any other type of fishing. Yeah, downriggers. There we go. Downriggers, dip divers, lead core. That's what precision angling's talking about there.
yes, your audio kind of muffles for some reason.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, that's much better. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but sometimes it's good and sometimes it just start muffling a bit.
Yeah, that's probably. So yeah, that's my plan. Is I'm going to go out. I'm going to try to go out on the lake this year in the kayak, and try to get some maybe some Lakers, get some brown trout. I've never done it, so I've got to research it. I've got to see what I need to do. Obviously, they're going to be at different depths during the summer months, so I got to do my research. But that's my plan. Is to take the kayak out and do some big water fishing with it.
Yeah, it's fun, and especially the one that you have with the pedals.
Yes, yeah, I've got the pedal one.
Yeah, that's much easier than just paddling. Yeah, because I would assume I would think like I'm just imagining if I'll go like Chesapeake Bay, it's a big body of water, and it's like yeah, sometimes for those power boats that they go and fish, and it takes for them time to get out and all. But I mean, what I'm gonna go on this kayak? I mean, I'm not gonna pedal. I'm gonna dive halfway.
With the sport, the actual, I mean, people have been fishing out of kayaks for thousands of years, but the sport, the sit on top fishing sport that we know today started in the 70s in California with ocean kayak and guys going out beyond the breakers and fishing for tarpon, and you know what I mean? I mean, they go out and paddle 5-10 miles offshore, and I'm not saying you would want to do that, but you know what I mean? It's definitely possible. It's something that can be done. So
well, yeah, I mean, I just looked at the ocean kayak, 13 footer, and yeah, it seemed to be like a nice kayak. But I mean, but that's the thing. This one is usually like sit on top kayak would be kind of a bit wider, so it has more stability to it. And the ones that the sport kayaks that they are for speed, they're pretty much narrow, and because they're not aero but hydrodynamics, I guess.
Trying to get through the water as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So this ocean kayak, yeah, it seemed to be, it's 13 footer, but the width of it was pretty much like my 10, so it was not much. I think it even a bit narrower. So, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah. A lot of them are like that 13, 15 foot range, but they're 30 inches, 32 inches wide. You know what I mean? Get that. Yeah. They're 29, 30 inches wide, but they're meant to cut through that water, to get where you need to go. But, if you get one of those pedal, like if you got like a Hobie or something, that's something you could sit back in and pedal that out to your spot. And, I'm trying to get you to buy a kayak again, Fishy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm already thinking kind of, because like this one is small one, so I'm just looking at that. It's like, okay, yeah, I need this and this and that. And now I'm thinking to get the fish finder. So, and with that, you need to get a battery and all that stuff. And that thing is not. I mean, the weight capacity of that thing is not that big. So, and I mean, I'm taking just with my weight. I mean, pretty much taking all of that. So I need something, that would be like in 500-pound range, probably.
Yeah, 400, 450, 500.
Yeah, but that one,
that little Slayer Propel 10 that I have, it's real stable kayak, and that's I think that has maybe a 450, 400 pound capacity. That thing's a little tugboat. It's a nice little boat, real lightweight, 52 pounds or 56 pounds, I think. pull weight, so it's it's easy to throw into your truck or on top of your car, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's what I like with the mine, the small one. Yeah, I can just take it anywhere I want. So
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
bigger you get, now it's a pain to move it, to drag it, to take it to the water, to unload it, to load it back up. It gets old the bigger the boat you get.
yeah.
So
And how
yeah,
how big is yours? How long is yours?
the pursuit is 13 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
My ATAC 120 is 12 foot 7 inches, something like that. And the Slayer that I have a 10-footer. I think they offer it in 13 and in 10, and I have the 10-footer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a short little guy. You know what I mean? Real stable though, and it actually when you're just pedaling at a normal pace, you're probably getting 3.5 miles an hour. Just a steady light pedal. You're not killing yourself.
Yeah, Precision Angling says that he fished for 10 years without the fish finder and he was fine. I mean, I've been fishing, for a couple of months and I was fine too. But this one, the one that I want to get, it's not much more, not much for the finding the fish because, I mean, in Delaware, I mean, we have really, really shallow ponds. And in 5 feet of water, you're pretty much not gonna see anything because the beam going down.
Right.
But I was looking at Garmin Striker +4, which can actually map the lakes, the contours of the lake and the depth and all. So that could be helpful, especially when it's tough and the fish trying to find deeper spots. So it's helpful to actually to see the contours of the pond or lake, so you can find those deep spots, and just go right to them.
Right.
So it's not much
Yeah.
of a finding the fish, but it's actually to map the lake because like in the big lake, public lakes that we have here, even like when I open the Navionics app that I have on my phone, yeah, it has some the bottom contours and the depth on it, but like some other unnamed or not public ponds, there is no information. So
Right. Yeah.
that's why it's good this one to take to that lake and you pretty much map it out for you. So that is the reason I wanted to get that Garmin Striker +4.
Yeah, I don't use it a lot because most of the ponds that I fish, I know them because I fish them. I've been fishing a lot of the ponds that I fish. I've been fishing for 5-10 years. But I have a Ray Marine Dragon FitzYakin, and it's just $100 unit, and it just gives me that down imaging or that down scan or whatever the heck they're calling it now. But it just gives me what the bottom looks like. So if I can see any drops or any humps or any kind of structure there,
Right.
fish might, when I'm fishing the deeper waters, because same thing. I have smaller ponds, like 25-acre ponds, but they're actually pretty deep ponds. They're like 25 foot, 25 feet deep. You know what I mean? But they don't have contour maps for them because they're not big enough to have contour maps for them. So
Right.
I'll use the fish finder for that, or my depth finder or whatever. I use it for those ponds. But a lot of the ponds I fish, I've been fishing them forever. I know where the fish are, and they're basically shallow ponds. And especially in the summertime, the fish could be anywhere. You know what I mean? They could be in the grass. It's nothing but grass. You know what I mean? Grass and weeds and everything. So,
Right. I mean, it's helpful to see, what's under the water. Yeah. All right. So we have some people here. I just wanted to thank you guys for joining this stream. I mean,
Thank you.
we're not.
Thank you, every.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much all the same people. Yankee Crank, Peacock Pit, Logan Rowe, Precision Angling, serving from my home, fishing with Big D, FitzYakin, Jim Money Strong Outdoors.
All great channels.
All the great channels. I mean, guys, thank you. I mean, I can see in this stream you pretty much always here. So I really, really appreciate that.
Gonna be I'm getting some ice fishing gear coming here in the next couple days, and I'm gonna attribute my spur of the moment decision to buy ice fishing stuff to Precision Angling. I've been kind of farting with the idea of getting into ice fishing for like the last year, and I saw Precision Angling's review on that on the Eskimo Evo 1 IT, and I was like, I gotta have it, so I went and ordered it. So I'm gonna try to do some ice fishing this weekend, maybe, and it's partly because of Precision Angling.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean I fished a while back, in Ukraine, but never here. And I've been looking like, when I start fishing, right now it's last year, last September, and I've been looking, maybe to get into the just eye fishing. And the thing is that I don't have anything. I mean, I have to buy all the tackle, everything pretty much, auger, tackle, reel, rod, everything. But I've been looking. It's like in Delaware. It's like we lately we don't get any ice. I mean, when we had this vortex coming through, right? So we also had like 6 degrees, 3 degrees for several days at night, and during the day it was like around 15 or so. But Sunday, it was the forecast was changing. So the Sunday I went to see what's going on at the lake, and I saw, I saw footprints on the ice because it was snowing a little bit,
Yeah.
right on top of the ice, and I saw, the footsteps in there.
Right.
And I walked up there and I looked and I saw some cracks in the ice, and I just tried to gauge, how deep those cracks are, how thick that ice is, and it seemed to be was probably 3 inches or so. So I didn't want to go out far, but I saw somebody was walking in the middle of the lake. Looks like some guy was there, and it's like, and I started just, I made a couple of steps forward, and then ice cracked, kind of. I heard like ping.
Yeah.
And that was it. I just turned around and I just ran like mad back to shore.
That's and I don't have a lot of experience being on ice. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of it, but I'm not. I don't know what's safe, what's not safe. I mean, I've been doing some research now, and I know I think you want at least 3-4 good inches. And
4 probably the minimum.
Yeah, for the minimum. Yeah, and if you've had a long enough cold spell, like we just had a warm up of we had 50. I think it got up to like 55 degrees yesterday. It got up to like I don't know, 45 degrees today. And my buddy's telling me, because there's like a good 10 inches, 12 inches of ice, depending on what pond you're talking about. He's like, don't worry, man, it'll still be good. It might be a little slushy on top, but it'll still be good. And Precision got the pucker factor working. But he's like, it'll still be good, by this weekend, because the temps are coming back down. So it's like, I go, you sure, man? I don't want to be like going out there, after it's been warm for the last couple of days and falling through the ice and drowning, But I think if you're safe, I went and got one of those spud things. I got one of those pick things. I'll probably wear my PFD maybe the first couple times out just yeah, that's what Precision saying, fish on 2 inches, but better to stick with 3.
Yeah, and the thing is, it also depends, if you have like that clear ice, with the really, really clear ice, I mean, you can get on with the 3 inches, but if it's kind of, muddy, so that will be kind of iffy, you would rather wait a little bit. And I just went on the ice, I was just driving by. I mean, I wasn't going fishing or anything. I wasn't even, dressed up or anything. I was just driving by. I mean, I was running errands, and I stopped. You know what? Let me just stop by and look and see what's going on. And
Right.
and when that ice cracked, that was the end of it.
Yeah.
My fishing
Scares
was over.
Like, I'm going back to shore, man. But yeah, I think you got to be smart with it. There was a guy, Skinny Atlas Lake. It's a big lake. It's one of the Finger Lakes in New York State. It's not far from where I live, and they had a guy go through the ice yesterday. 80 something years old, was out ice fishing, and he went through and drowned. So, uh,
Yeah.
I think you got to be smart. You got to, I guess, maybe know the waters that you're going to be fishing. Try to get local information. They usually have websites for our area that'll tell you how much ice is on this particular bay, and whether or not it's safe, But I'm definitely I'm not comfortable being on ice because I've never really been on ice that much. So it's definitely going to be something I'm going to have to get used to, I guess. But I'm going to try to be smart about it and check it and not go out after, on a day where it's been, you know, 60 degrees for the last 6 days. You know what I mean?
Right. I
So,
mean, it turned quickly. We had, as you say, as soon as this vortex or whatever they call it passed. Yeah. I mean, today we had 60 degrees. So I mean, it's done.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Now we had 60 degrees today, but we had, probably a good 3, 4 weeks where it was constantly under freezing and the ice had a chance to build up, I guess, so now we've got 10 inches of ice, 12 inches of ice in a lot of areas. So this warm up, it's going to make the surface, I guess, a little bit slushy. And again, I'm getting this from buddies of mine that ice fish, but it'll still be safe, or should be. But you still got to check it. You know what I mean? I
Right.
guess.
Right. I mean, we had only a couple of days. We had like 4 days. So I mean, that's what I think. I mean, even I looked, with the temperature, you probably over 3 4 days you'll get 3 maximum 4 inches of
Right.
ice. So
Right. And then you've got precision angling up in Maine. He's probably got geez, I don't know, 2 feet of ice or so on most of the areas up there. So even if they have a warm up for a week and a half, he probably could still go out and ice fish. Maybe. I guess I don't know.
yeah, I
Depending on
saw
how
his
warm.
last videos. Yeah, I mean, with that
And
au-
he's like
auger that
he's
he
like
had,
drill,
he was bending over to actually drilled it over
drill
all
through,
the way down.
yeah, he's going through like 2 feet of ice. So I mean, you can drive trucks on that kind of stuff, I guess. So.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I did it my first time ever last year. I fished with a buddy in a ice fishing tournament, and I had a good time. And then I decided to get the equipment this year and try to get out a couple more times before spring. So, excuse
Yeah,
me.
I don't know if what's gonna happen this year. I mean, it's February already, so um,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna get cold or not. I don't know if I will have a chance, to go out ice fishing. But yeah,
Lacey wants to see the photos again.
maybe next year, or maybe I have to drive north.
Yeah, you might have to. Fishy.
So
I don't know about Delaware, but if you do ever get years where you get solid ice, but yeah, you might have to go north if you want to get into it, I guess. Lacey wants to see the photos again.
okay, who wants to see the photos?
Yeah. Has anybody ever seen Trailer Park Boys? It's a movie and it's also a TV show. Has anybody ever seen it? There's a couple of pictures where I'm trying to look like Bubbles, one of the characters in Trailer Park Boys. If you
It's
haven't seen it, check it out. It's a funny show. It's a TV show, but I think they made a couple movies on it. It's a Canadian show. It's funny.
Yeah, for some reason, when I saw that picture, what came to mind?
Wow.
The movie The Office.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah,
that guy with the red staple.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I think it's the same actor.
It probably is. It might be. Bubbles. See, Logan knows. Bubbles. I borrowed a pair of glasses from this guy and put those on. I was trying to get the Bubbles look going. I was out on St. Patrick's Day for that one. Uh, Peacock Pete, Dead Ringer. Yeah. And there's the camping photo. Just, just
Yeah,
letting it all hang out right
he's
there.
he's camping outdoors.
Yeah. So those are the photos.
Yeah, and some family photos as well.
Yeah, some family photos.
Family, co-workers, brothers in arms.
Yeah. Yeah. I should have sent you some big fish photos, but I don't have any. Those are my dogs. I have
Mm.
two pugs, Tucker and Otis. They're like, I think they're 9 years old now. But yeah, they're good dogs. Pugs.
Yeah, it's
Dogs.
family too.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah. They sleep right in the bed with us. That's my first ever fishing kayak right there. I might be delayed, but I bought that at Dick's for like, I don't know, a couple $100. Sit inside. It was the
Hmm.
Future Beach Trophy 126, I think it was called. But that's kind of what got me into kayak fishing, because I grew up as a bank fisherman. You know what I mean? Fishing off the bank as a kid, fishing off the bank as I got older. Never owned a big boat, and I probably never will. But that was my first kayak. That's what got me into the sport, and I really do love it. I wouldn't fish if I had a choice to have a $70,000 bass boat or a kayak. I'd choose a kayak every time. So
Yeah, I mean it is fun because I didn't even know I bought my in Walmart for $198,
yeah,
less than $200, and but the whole thing was, I'll try it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, it's only
yeah.
$200.
And that's what I did. You know what I mean? I bought a cheap one. That way I figured if I didn't like it, no big loss. I decided I liked it, and then I upgraded. I've owned like 10 different kayaks in the last 10 years, man. I kind of have an addiction to it. Like I said, if I had the space in my garage, I would own like probably 10 kayaks, man. I like the Hobies. You know what I mean? There's so many good kayaks out there.
Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of kayaks, but I mean I'm just looking. Yeah, I thought I'll spend $200 so I don't have to spend a lot. But now I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah,
now I'm gonna pay even more because now I want the bigger one.
yeah, you get a bigger and better one, and then maybe you'll fish out of that for a couple more years. I'll tell you what, it's come a long ways in the last 5, 6 years, because it used to be they didn't have the comfort of the seats like they do now. They didn't have the stability. The best you could do was like an ocean kayak Trident, and you could stand in it, but it was real wobbly. And then Jackson came out with the Kusa, and that was real stable. And then they came out with a nice comfortable seats, the high low. Logan, I don't have a Hobie. Maybe someday. It's not that I can't. I guess it's just that the three kayaks I have now, I'm happy with, so I don't want to get rid of them. But and I don't want to buy a fourth and try to figure out where I'm going to put it and spend, because they're not cheap, obviously. Buy another kayak and have four kayaks. I'll have a kayak for almost every day of the week. And I like that new Hobie Outback, that 2019 Outback. That's a nice kayak. You should get that one, Fishy.
Well, I don't know. It's gonna
So
be hard. It's gonna be hard, to have my second half to actually.
yeah, Yanked Your Crank's got the Jackson Big Rig. That's a nice boat. Nice big stable boat.
Yeah, I mean when you saw the show when I was showing his kayak, right? It's all pimped out
Yeah,
with the flashing lights and all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. I've seen his videos where he did put all the LED lighting on there. It's got it all hooked up to power. Uh, that's you can pimp them out any way you want. You can be simple, or you can load them up with all kinds of stuff. You can put power poles, micro power poles on the back. You can uh, on those new canoes, you can put front-mounted trolling motors. It's crazy with the amount of stuff that you can do, or you can keep it simple. You know what I mean? Just a paddle and you. So Lacey's funny.
Lazy, yeah, of course, if you become famous and all, but I haven't seen a penny from YouTube yet, so I may only ask for the donation to PayPal or something, or
Uh,
buy or buy my merch. I mean, the link is right in the description, guys. So I mean, if you go click on the link and check it out, and the discount code's actually in the about section. So if you want to check it out, the merch, I mean, you can see, you know, me in my hat here. You probably already noticed with my logo on it, and yeah, I mean, it's all there.
I'm gonna buy something from you. I'm gonna get me a fishy angler. I don't know what yet. Maybe a hat, but probably a T-shirt or something. Do you have anything like that wicking material, like the PFG stuff from? Oh, geez.
There's the Moisture Weekend T-shirt that they have. It's just one kind of style there, but I mean, yeah, it's there. It's there. Also, there's a mug, and I mean, I see you drinking from the mug. I should have brought my Fishy Angler mug and drink from it. But yeah, so that's about it, you know. I mean, I don't know with this YouTube, you know, I don't even think, you know, I'm gonna make any penny ever. I mean, I'm doing this for fun, kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Just do it and see what happens. You know, just keep doing it, and who knows? You know, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You know, I don't know. Maybe people will like this show so much, they're just gonna go and buy everything from my store, and you know, my PayPal would burst by the seams, you know, with the money.
Hobie Outback 2019 Hobie Outback.
Oh yeah, you know, anything. Yeah, then I'll go and buy the most expensive one, and I'll have Yankee cranked, you know, to pimp it up.
Yeah. Put power poles on there and battery. You can charging stations for your cell phone. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. Yeah, Lacey knows. You never know. Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the way I look at it now too is that I was going to do these videos anyhow. I've been doing my own videos for 2 years. I just never published them except for those couple early ones. I've got like a whole storage thing of just videos, but they're all crappy because they got that bad feedback on the sound. But I was doing them anyhow, so I figured this year I was like, yeah, geez, I might as well publish them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, I had one. I had the channel, you know, you've seen it. I had it from, I believe, from 2008, so I've been having it for 10 years, but I never pay attention to that. You know, I upload my scuba diving videos, you know, my sailing videos in there, and it's like, I didn't even care for anything, and it was sitting there, and I wasn't even active on YouTube, you know, I was pretty much watching, I wasn't the creator to begin with. I mean, I was just posting what I had, and yeah, I had like, I mean, if you look at it, it's almost 500 subscribers there, but I haven't posted a video there for like years.
Yeah, you've got a lot of views on a lot of the videos too. I mean, in the thousands. You know, some of your scuba diving videos. You know.
Yeah, there's one video. You know, when we went to Bermuda, and we just chill out there. You know, for a week or so, and. I had my mother-in-law, you know, and we rented the scooters, and I was driving the scooters. My wife had one scooter, and I was driving my mother-in-law on a bigger scooter, and we were driving, and I know there will be a comment for that, but you know, let's just hold that thought.
I'm trying to imagine you on a scooter with your mother-in-law on the back. I got
actually, my mother-in-law is a great person. I mean, anybody can actually. Would like to have her, believe me. Right. And we were driving, and I just said, I had this camcorder, and I said, you sit in the back doing nothing, so just grab the camcorder and you just film whatever you see, you know. And we were driving through the whole island, like different spots, different beaches and stuff. And we went to the fort, and we just kind of, you know, were cruising around through the island. And she was just goofing around and filming. And when I got home and I look at the footage, it's like, all right, I don't know what to tell about this. It's like it's a mess, you know. But then, you know, I put it kind of together and say, well, it was like the whole trip through the island. I mean, the footage is goofy on the back of the scooter, is jumping and all. But I said, hell with it. I mean, I wasn't after like big creative work, so I just slap it together and put it on YouTube. And that video was the biggest hit that I had out of all of them. All these scuba diving videos didn't even catch to that one.
Right. Yeah. Just this random all over the place video. Boom.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you never know when you hit that.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be cool to have a viral video, you know what I mean? Like something that just just exploded.
Yeah, because right now if you go to YouTube and you type Bermuda, guess what? That video will be on top.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
So, and that's why I know as soon as it gets on top, I mean, it stays there.
Right.
And you get all the exposure.
You get all the exposure, yeah, and you get more hits because it's like one of the first things that pops up.
They just follow, that video and see what else you have. So
no, that's what I was going to do with my videos. Is I was going to wear a thong in my videos, or not for my videos, but for my thumbnail. Just clickbait,
But you need those views. That's the thing. You need those views to get it up, in the search engines and stuff. So that means just the thumbnail is not gonna cut it. You actually have to do that on a video.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh, we already passed an hour.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we're gonna be finishing this stream. I mean, it was really, really funny. It was easy going. I really like, that I invite you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for agreeing, and thank you for your service to this country.
Well, thank you.
So I mean, we're gonna wrap up here. I want to thank all the guys that actually watched this stream. Thank you very much. I mean, without you, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So hopefully, people will like this, and we'll come back for the next episode. So it's gonna be, this episode, many of you know, it's gonna be every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, and hopefully, people will come back and they like the show and will come back.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice concept that you're going to feature somebody different every week, and you kind of get to know them a little bit more personally. And thanks, Logan. Thanks, Lacey. It's a really nice concept. You know what I mean? And hopefully it takes off. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, you get kind of closer, on a personal level, and it's completely different, I mean, you can see people supporting you, kind of like your videos and watching your videos and comment on your videos. But yeah, I mean, once you get to know kind of on a personal level like that, I mean, it's completely different relationship.
Thanks, I'm I don't like to do interviews. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fishy, for having me also.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and thank everybody for stopping by and watch it. I hope you liked it. So if you like that, I mean, you can leave the comments just to let me know. So I think it's a good. I mean, looking at the attendance, it's not a lot concurrent watching, but hopefully that will grow.
Did you see Lacey's comment there? We saw you on the
Well, this is the only thing, the biggest thing that you will take out of this stream.
Yeah. Got the crap. I wasn't sure if I was going to send you that pic, but
well, you see, that pic made a day, and
funny, what I mean? Like I say, though, the funniest part is, I think if you go to my buddy's house, he probably still has it on that little digital frame, and if you look through, you just look at it for a while, that picture will show up on his digital frame as it's scrolling through the photos.
Well, it's a family photo, right?
Thanks, Logan. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, okay.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Larry, for coming to the show. I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, it was really funny. All right, guys. So don't forget, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, I mean, if you want a sneak peek or whatever, the next guest is G-Money Strong Outdoors. You don't want to miss that one.
That'll be a big one. That'll be a big one.
Well, we're not going to see him on the pooper, but we'll probably...
He might go live from the pooper, you know?
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we're going to wrap up. And I'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care.